So what's that red wine that has the biggest section in the wine store, the biggest section on a restaurant menu, or that all your friends talk about and they drink? It's Cabernet Sauvignon. And today, that's exactly what we're talking about. Coming up next. Hey, what's going on, guys? Ray Scholes here, the certified sommelier with Royal Vines, bringing the tasting to you. Now on my channel, we talk about wine, beer, and sake, but we also talk about some of my favorites, spirits and cocktails. So if this is your first time, please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, and then also make sure that you like and share. Without further ado, let's talk a little bit about Cabernet Sauvignon. So what is Cabernet Sauvignon? So Cabernet Sauvignon is actually going to be a grape, and it's these small little intense berries that have these really thick skins, and these thick skins is really what's going to give Cabernet Sauvignon its name and its power, because those skins provide the tannin that's going to go into the wine. And why is that important? It's important because the tannin has a very important job. The tannin in this particular wine helps with the ageability. So how far can you age this particular wine? I'd say anywhere between 10 to 20 years. Tannin is that thing that dries your mouth out. When you put it in your mouth, you're like, oh, you switch it around a little bit, you drink it, and you're like, oh my gosh, my mouth is so dry. And a lot of people associate that with bitterness, but it's actually tannin. And that's important because when you're eating something, like a classic pairing with Cabernet Sauvignon would be a steak, and I mean, you want to do ribeye, sirloin, cowboy, aka tomahawk, anything that has a little bit of fat to it. You can even do filet if you like, but that fat is going to coat your mouth, and the tannin in that wine is going to dry your mouth out. So what happens is you take a bite of that steak, fat's all over your mouth, you're like, all right, great, that's wonderful. The tannin comes in, washes everything away, cleans your palate, takes away all of that fat, and then you go in for another bite of that steak, and it's like you're tasting it again for the first time. So tannin is pretty important. Where is this grape originating from? It's originating from Bordeaux, France. And some of the chateaus that have been utilizing this beautiful grape have been in business since the 1700s. Yeah, it's old. But it can also be grown in different parts of the world as well. There's really amazing examples in Australia. Definitely you're gonna find some Cabernet Sauvignon in South Africa. You'll find it also in Chile and Argentina. You'll also find it in America as well, all throughout. What does it taste like? Well, it has a lot of different flavors and a lot of complexity to it. So there's a lot of different things that you can taste. Anything from black fruit like blackberries and black currant. You also get a little bit like black cherry, but you also can get some sweet red cherry and raspberry, even some blue fruit like blueberry. You also get other characteristics out of it too, like leather. Like you might smell leather. You might even taste a little bit of leather. Don't act like it's your first time tasting leather. We all had that grandma that be walking down the street and say, boy, if you don't hurry up, and then smack you with her purse. Yes, exactly like that. I'm not playing. Don't even act like your grandma didn't do that. I'm sure your grandma hit you with her purse once or twice and hit you in the mouth and you taste leather. That's how it goes. Anyways, if it was aged in oak, you might get some really awesome flavors there as well. Like chocolate and mocha and chocolate and coffee and toast. The smokiness sometimes that you get from it, definitely like vanilla. And did I say chocolate and coffee? This is delicious. Cabernet Sauvignon. What are you waiting for? Go get a bottle, check it out. But before you do that, make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and definitely make sure that you share. Question of the day. Do you like Cabernet Sauvignon? If you do, why? And if you don't, why? Because some people like it and don't even understand it. Remember, ladies and gents, see, swirl, smell, sip, savor the experience. Until next time, cheers.